Did you know Tony Parsons said in a video that I watched this morning that sometimes there's more energy in the connection that you have with someone than the words or the thoughts that are coming through. So if you feel a connection with me by us making eye contact the way we are, know that I feel it too, despite the time warp that is currently happening. So sometimes healing your heart is about spending time with this kind of healing, encouraging, loving energy. Don't give it up. Don't go to the dark side and spend time with thoughts or people or energy that bring you down and set you back. Welcome to Midlife Blossoms. My name is Lori, and today I want to talk about the signs that your heart is healing. Because you know, sometimes when you go through a loss or a huge breakup, you can't tell whether or not you're actually healing. You may feel like you're still in the same old rut for weeks or months or even years. And you may not notice that there have been incremental changes that you barely even discern because you're paying too close attention to the pain that you're in. And one of my readers made this comment on my blog post. A sign for me that my heart may be healing is that while I was driving the other day, I found myself singing along to a song that was on the radio. It's been forever since I even turned on the radio for fear that I would hear a song that would remind me of him. Now, not only was my radio on, I was actually singing along. And that's one of the first signs that your heart is healing, is that you start doing things and you don't even notice because you're not looking for signs that you're moving on or that you're healing or that you're letting go, but you're just actually living your life. For me, the first sign that my heart was healing from a separation that I went through is I don't really regret what I did anymore. At the very beginning, I was always thinking, if only I had done this, I should have done that, I wish this would have happened, and I took a lot of blame onto myself. Then I started to kind of work through it and look at it from a more objective perspective, and I realized I did the best I could in that relationship, and it unfolded the way it was supposed to. And I think that's a sign that a person's heart is healing, is when they don't look back in regret and keep thinking, if only this happened, if only that happened. If you find yourself kind of letting go of the blame and the regret and even the revenge seeking and wishing things had been different, that's a huge sign your heart is healing. The second sign that your heart is healing is that you find healthy ways to comfort and console yourself. So you're still going to feel waves of pain. Grief really never goes away. Even decades sometimes after we lose someone that we love, we still feel the pain of the loss and we really miss the person. But you do find that when the pain rises and grief rises, that is a natural way to live life because you loved and you lost. But a sign that your heart is healing is that you start to comfort yourself in healthy ways. So for me, one of the healthiest ways to cope is to write. I find that as soon as I start writing about the pain that I felt or the regrets or the guilt or the grief, if I start writing it down in my journal, I just find this release and it kind of flows through me instead of me hanging on to it and blaming myself and getting stuck in that rumination. And you know, I just realized that making YouTube videos and writing for my Midlife Blossoms blog again is a sign, a healthy sign that I'm healing. And I had to take several months off, like 9 months off, and not do anything on my blogs or on my YouTube channel because I just couldn't face it, because I think the pain is too raw. When you start to go back to what you used to do and you bring a greater depth of compassion and love to it. If you're not there yet, and if you feel like you're not ready to even turn on the radio or do anything that you used to do, or even write down how it feels to lose someone that you love or to go through the grief, then that's just where you are right now. That's just part of your process and the road that you're on. Give yourself time, but also don't let yourself stay stuck in the past. The third sign that your heart is healing is that you are willing to Allow your heart as much time as it needs to heal. And it's kind of tricky here because you have to find a balance between giving yourself time and being patient, but you also have to kind of give yourself a little bit of discipline and encourage yourself to get out and do the healthy things. Another sign for me was volunteering at a local thrift store. I love going there to volunteer, and the community there is amazing. Meeting with people and hearing their stories has been so healing for me, especially because many of the volunteers are older. I get to see how much pain and loss that people have been through and how much healing they've done. It amazes me, and it gives me a lot of hope for my own heart. Give yourself time to heal, but also try to find ways to get out and interact with people who've experienced loss, which is everybody. The fourth tip that your heart is healing is that your creative side is peeking out. For me, this means the blogging and the doing YouTube videos, but for you that might be gardening or knitting or making something or taking on a new project at work. Creativity doesn't have to be creating something artistic. Creativity can be washing your car or rebuilding an old car. However you find yourself. Recipes is another good way to be creative. What you wear, what you look like, dyeing your hair purple or blue. The fifth sign that your heart is healing is that you avoid unhealthy contact with the past. When my sister stopped talking to me, I found myself going onto Facebook and I would look at my friends. I would see how happy they are and how much family they have. And there would be these postings of sisters together and we're so happy, we have the best life. I'm so glad she's my sister. I found that very, very painful. A sign that you're healing, that your heart is healing, is that you avoid doing those things that bring you pain. Because not only is it a sign that you're healing, but it's also a sign that you are helping yourself continue to heal. The sixth sign that you're healing is that you're starting to think about the future. I haven't really posted on my own Facebook profile for almost a year, but I'm starting to think in the future I'm going to be able to start being on Facebook again. And this is for me kind of a big thing. Those are the signs that I've noticed in my own life that my heart is healing. And I hope that you found something that was helpful or encouraging in these tips. I want you to take hope for the future and just know that even if your wound is still fresh and your heart is still broken, it won't always be this bad. Your heart may always be tender with the loss that you experienced, but it won't always be in this much pain. You will start to move on and learn how to love and open up your heart to someone else again. And maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's an animal or a friend or a job or a project. It doesn't have to be the same type of situation that you were in before, but it is something that you can pour your heart into in a different way than was before. Take good care of yourself, my friend, for you are worth taking good care of. Mwah.